It's worse when we're talking about or hearing speculation about you fighting somebody that literally fights 3 weight divisions lower than you.
Very excited. You know, this is the biggest fight of my career, if it happened, and I'm just looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Him and Crawford?
Yeah.
I think Canelo just too big for Crawford. I mean, Terence Crawford is another, amazing fighter.
Stephen A. Smith issued a stern warning to Terence Crawford during a live interview, expressing strong disapproval of his potential fight against Canelo Alvarez. Smith stated bluntly that he hates the idea and called it a terrible mismatch. According to him, Crawford is naturally 3 weight classes below Canelo and simply too small to compete safely. He urged Crawford to reconsider, warning that the size and power difference could be dangerous.
Reaction to the idea of Crawford versus Canelo?
I hate it. I don't like it one bit. I think that Crawford is the best pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. I think that Canelo is one of those folks. But Canelo is fighting at 168, which means he's walking around heavier.
Former world champion Amir Khan, who fought Canelo in 2016, also warned Crawford. Khan admitted he had underestimated the impact of the weight difference and referred to Canelo as a beast in the ring. He emphasized that he now understands why weight classes exist.
Canelo's a beast, man. Canelo's a beast, and when it was offered to me, I tried to chase the Mayweather fight at that time, and that happened. And obviously, I was probably at my peak of my career then as well. So, whoever I was gonna fight, I was gonna give him a hard fight regardless. Because we were probably winning that fight against Canelo until he knocked me out. But yeah, I was boxing well. But one thing, sizes. Now I understand why they make weight divisions in boxing. Every weight division. But then again, look, bro, you would probably take it. I was offered like 10 million quid, bro. 10 million quid, bro. Look, end of the day, this is like it's a lot of money, I thought about it. What made me when I got the deal on the table for 10 mil, I was like, should I take it or not? But then I worked it out. Normally, I have to have 3 or 4 hard training camps and fights to make that kind of money. That's still one fight. So you gotta do it in that one fight. You know what I mean?
Does Canelo beat Crawford?
Size, bro. Remember, Crawford then is a big boy as well. Crawford's a big guy when it comes to weight. A box fight, yeah.
What do you think?
I think Crawford, in my opinion, but size might matter. But then again, I think since when I fought Canelo's become a better boxer. He started boxing more better.
Boxing legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. didn't hold back his opinion. He warned that Crawford should not fight Canelo at 168 pounds, predicting that he would definitely get knocked out. While Chavez respects Crawford's talent, he believes that, at super middleweight, Canelo is simply too strong and powerful, a perspective rooted in decades of boxing experience.
Dinero y Canelo lo van a noquear.
The 2 fighters are going to be different weight classes, even though they're going to fight on a specific weight. He believes that they're just going because of the money, Crawford, but probably Canelo is going to knock him out.
Despite the growing concern, Crawford remains confident. He has publicly stated that he has previously fought and beaten opponents bigger than Canelo and believes his superior boxing skills will help him prevail. According to Crawford, Canelo's only real advantage is size, not technique. This self-belief is part of what endears him to fans. He never backs down from a challenge. However, many experts argue that facing Canelo at 168 is an entirely different level of danger.
I feel I got the speed over Canelo. I got the reach over him. He might got the size, the power. I got the better skills, boxing skills.
Would it be more of a cat and mouse? The reality is Canelo does put people out. From Kirkland to Amir Khan to just...
Don't do
obviously,
I'm just saying, man.
No, but he's not Kovalev.
Kovalev was older.
He
does. Don't get me wrong. He does have a lot of power, but all those guys that you name is not as skillful as me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to none of those fighters. The skill level is night and day.
So how do you see a fight with Canelo go?
Tough fight. Canelo is a great fighter. I always had respect for Canelo, but I just believe in my skills. The fact that people doubt me, it just fueled me even more. Try to get the fight even more. And I'm watching him, I'm like, man, I can beat this dude. I've been fighting people bigger than me all my life, and I always came out on top. You gonna get hit. It's a fight. He gonna get hit too. It'll be good.
Reiterating his point in another live interview, Stephen A. Smith firmly stated that Crawford is simply too small to face Canelo. He emphasized that moving up 3 weight divisions is historically a bad idea, especially when facing someone as strong as Canelo. He needs to let it go, Smith said, adding that even if Crawford lands clean shots, he may not be able to hurt Canelo.
Let me tell you what I think should be gone. The notion that Terence Bud Crawford should move up 3 weight classes and 21 pounds to fight Canelo Alvarez. He's entirely too small. Jermell Charlo already proved that. Y'all remember that scene from Rocky? Remember that scene from Rocky 2? When Carl Weathers was Apollo Creed and his trainer was like, can I be honest? I saw you beat this man within an inch of his life. And he kept coming. He wouldn't go away. He's wrong for us, baby. He's wrong. Let it go. Apollo couldn't do it. And lost fight number 2. Trained him for Rocky 3. And then got killed in Rocky 4 by Drago. Because he couldn't let it go. Bud Crawford needs to let it go. Too small.
Renowned boxing trainer Joel Diaz also weighed in, calling the idea of Crawford beating Canelo stupid. Diaz pointed to the size difference and highlighted the fact that Canelo has defeated elite-level super middleweights and even light heavyweights. From a trainer's point of view, Diaz sees this fight as a dangerous mismatch.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. Mm-hmm. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. Yeah. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. A lot. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Yeah. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Sean Garcia echoed similar concerns, noting that while Crawford is a brilliant boxer, Canelo's physicality and experience make this an uphill battle. No matter how good Crawford is, Canelo is just too big, Garcia said. Even Stephen A. Smith, while acknowledging Crawford's elite skill set, questioned whether he can even hurt Canelo. Without enough power to make Canelo respect his punches, Crawford could find himself in a punishing and one-sided fight.
My initial reaction would be to say that I think that Crawford would be the superior boxer, as great as Canelo is, as seasoned as he is, with 65 fights, if I recall, on his record. I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. He says it's a legacy fight. He believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez, which is why we haven't really seen him in the ring against anybody else. Unfortunately, that's the business of boxing. He's a victim of it, not a villain.
Promoter Eddie Hearn described the matchup as more of a freak fight. While he respects both fighters, he believes the size disparity makes the contest feel more like a spectacle than a competitive bout. He added that even if Crawford performs, well, fans might downplay it due to the size difference. Conversely, if Canelo wins, people may dismiss it as an easy victory.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized. against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Trainer Robert Garcia took a different stance, suggesting that fans simply don't want to see this fight. He believes the boxing community would rather watch Crawford take on opponents closer to his natural weight class, like contenders at 154 or 160 pounds. In his view, the Canelo matchup feels forced and lacks the organic competitiveness that defines great fights.
I want to see Crawford versus Canelo. I think people are going to say, oh, that's too much, moving up 2 more weight divisions, 2 more. Thank you, man. Thank you. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think that'll bring that much attention anymore, because I think if you were going out there and destroy this guy, then okay, he can move up and fight against Canelo, but I think it'll be hard for people to buy that, that he could fight somebody like Canelo, because Canelo's just too big. That's 2 weight divisions.
Boxing analyst Showbiz. The adult provided a chilling perspective, recalling the terrifying sound and force behind Canelo's punches. He expressed doubt that Crawford could endure that kind of power. Despite Crawford's toughness and talent, Showbiz emphasized that the punch resistance required at 168 is far greater than at 147, and 1 clean shot from Canelo could end the fight.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford?
Yeah, got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be pesky.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's good for good.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my bookie come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. Y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50? I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'ma empty my account. $30,000, I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was gonna bet on Crawford thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
In a conversation with veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael, Stephen A. Smith once again voiced his concerns. Raphael, however, defended Crawford's intentions, arguing that he wouldn't take this fight just for the payday. He truly wants to win. Still, even Raphael acknowledged that Crawford would have to fight a flawless match to have a chance.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he could outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go back way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round 1, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage? Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168. So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch criticized the matchup as uncompetitive. He believes the size and strength gap is simply too wide and that Crawford won't be able to compete effectively. Froch warned that fans hoping for an epic clash might end up disappointed.
Las Vegas. Now that is a fight that I'm expecting to be very good. I think it's going to be tough for Crawford. He's not big enough, I don't think. He's just not got that size. Don't get me wrong, he'll stack some pounds on and he'll grow. He's obviously bigger than his fight weight, but Canelo Alvarez has been up at light heavyweight. I know he's been up at light heavyweight. He beat Kovalev, and then he's dropped back down now to super middle because he's probably not big enough for light heavyweight. Lost to Bivol, and he's probably realised actually that's probably a step too far. But Terence Crawford, was he 147 pound, one of the best to do it in the business. But to come up, we know what it's like when people come up from welterweight and try and succeed a couple of weight divisions above their weight. It's tough, it's difficult.
Despite all the criticism and concern, Terence Crawford still wants the fight. Many fans are behind him, inspired by his hunger for greatness. Crawford has always embraced tough challenges, and this fight could be the ultimate test of his legacy. If he manages to pull off the unthinkable, it could go down as one of the most remarkable achievements in boxing history. It's a high-risk, high-reward scenario that has captivated the sport.
I just feel if Terence Crawford's going to have a fight again, and I look at the options on the table, there's no one he wants to fight 154 pounds. There isn't. He doesn't want to fight Fundora. He's not going to fight Virgil Ortiz. He's not going to fight Boychuk. These aren't sexy names. These are just not names that even gets out for a jog for. The only name he wants to fight is Canelo. For me, I feel like I'm more closer to Crawford fighting than Crawford not fighting. And if Crawford's going to fight, then it has to be Canelo. But look, we'll see. That's a dream one for me. I think I said that on my wish list for 2025. I said Crawford, Canelo. I think all the others will come true. I just want this one to come true. It's a crazy fight. There's almost too much weight between the two, but I agree. Hey, this is boxing.
Heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua offered a more optimistic take. He acknowledged the clear size difference, but said the deciding factor is often desire. In Joshua's view, if Crawford is properly motivated and prepares correctly, he could shock the world. For Joshua, Crawford's determination might fuel a performance that defies expectations.
Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the catchweight stuff, but I feel like there's no rehydration clause, is there? No, so that would be good. And then I feel like Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. showed us that weight is good. Like, there are weight categories for a reason. But, providing they're both skilled and talented, there's not much difference in weight. It's just who wants to win. And watching that fight, Conor Benn and Chris Eubank just showcased that weight is all about that. So I'm looking forward to the Crawford and Canelo fight because I feel like Bud wants to prove a point. Do you know what I mean? So it'll be a good fight. He was just over there a second ago. Calling him Bud like I know him. But Terence Crawford was just over there, to be fair.
Boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya shared a hard truth known in the sport. A good small man doesn't beat a good big man. While he respects Crawford's ability, De La Hoya believes the odds are heavily against him. Size, strength, and durability often decide fights, and Canelo has all three in abundance.
Be part of it. William who? Canelo versus William Skull. William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
Let's just say Canelo Crawford in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, back Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out.
Teofimo Lopez, known for his sharp boxing insight, praised Canelo's ring IQ and physical advantages. He said that while Crawford is undoubtedly elite, Canelo's combination of experience, intelligence, and power makes him a formidable opponent, especially at a weight Crawford has never competed in.
Crawford, Canelo, who you got? Crawford, Canelo? I still say Canelo. I got Canelo too. I still say Canelo. Ring IQ, I believe that Crawford has a bit more.
Yep.
However, it's just the size difference. I think that where Crawford is lacking is that he should test the waters even with somebody at that weight class before facing Canelo. But hey, they say he's a dog. He's got shot in the head and drove to the hospital, so maybe that's just his mentality.
Hey, let's see. Only one way to find out until that day comes.
It's the only way, but I definitely think that it's a great fight overall. You know, black and brown is how you get down.
Canelo Alvarez's record speaks for itself. He has defeated champions across multiple divisions and recently added another world title to his resume by beating William Skull. Whether that specific win is verified or not, Canelo's dominance at 168 pounds is well established. For any fighter, let alone a welterweight like Crawford, taking him on is an enormous challenge.
Bud versus Canelo, based on last fight, is a 50-50. So Canelo fights an undisputed champ, up-and-coming former champion, and an up-and-coming undefeated contender. And somehow those three last opponents are somehow compared to Bud's Madrimov fight, making it a 50-50 fight? Wow.